Hi guys, Chef Kevin Belton here. I hope you're having a fantastic weekend. You know, Monday is Brown Bag Day, all right? It's National Brown Bag Day. A lot of people are going back to work. So basically that means people are powering up.
It's Memorial Day.
Even though it's Memorial Day, Monica reminded me, people are still starting to go back to work. So I'm gonna power you up with two recipes. We're gonna do an almond joy power ball, but I'm gonna start with a citrus chicken power bowl. And these are two things that are great to bring to work, to have with dinner at home. But first off, let me show you what I started with the chicken. I wanna get this chicken cooking and I'll show you how I got to this point because I've had the chicken marinating. And I'll show you what I've had it marinating in as we put it together. But you notice, I'm gonna take the marinade and everything and the chicken and put right in the pan because this is going to cook for about 20-25 minutes or so. All right, I have it cranked up high, and you notice there's a lot of moisture, it looks like, in there. That's okay because that moisture is going to cook out. So let me show you what I did to get to the point we are now, okay? Now, also, once this starts cooking for a bit, and I thought I had the fire on, but I didn't have it turned up high enough just to get the pan warm. I always like to heat up my pans before I start, but this time, you see what happened. It didn't work out that way. So once we get this cooking, we're gonna finish this off with, I have a seeded sliced jalapeno, I have red, yellow, and orange bell peppers. I have an orange that's sliced. I'm also gonna put into this some broccoli. All right, you could just do it with the bell peppers and the jalapeno, but I love broccoli, so I'm gonna put some broccoli into this, and we're gonna garnish it off with a little parsley and green onion, okay? So since this isn't going in until the last few minutes, I'm just gonna set this over here on the side. All right. Come on, baby, get going. But here, what I have here, I started off with 1/3 cup of honey and 1/3 cup of orange juice. Now, I find this works better with fresh squeezed orange juice. So I just took a navel orange, cut it in half, and 1/3 cup is about 1 navel orange, pretty much, okay? Now, to this, I have 2 tablespoons of brown sugar, about a 1/4 teaspoon of salt, a 1/2 teaspoon of black pepper, a couple of cloves of garlic that we're gonna get down into here, into our marinade as well. We also want about a tablespoon of our Creole seasoning in. There we go, not too much, all right? And the other thing that's going in our marinade are gonna be some mustards. Now, I don't know if you're a mustard fan, and there's all different types of mustards. Here I'm using 2. I'm using the Creole mustard. And as you can see, Creole mustard is a grainy mustard. It's a ground mustard seeds. That's why it looks grainy that way. And I'm also using a Dijon. Now, some folks, if you only like Dijon, just use Dijon. You could use Dijon with a little yellow mustard. You could use the Creole mustard with a little yellow mustard, or yellow mustard with a little Creole. Take your pick, whatever you happen to like. You know, one of Monica's favorite things is honey mustard. So with this little honey in here and these different type of mustards, I think she's really gonna like this. Aren't you, dear? Maybe? Okay, I'm getting a look that it just depends on how it comes out. All right. See, this is a nice simple marinade. This is what was in the bag that I dumped in. So once we get this mixed together, what I've done, I've taken our chicken. Now, you can use chicken thighs. You can use chicken breast, I should say. I like chicken thighs. Basically, I cut the thighs in strips. Then I cut some of those in half that were really long, so it wouldn't take too long to cook, all right? If you do chicken breast, just cut the breast lengthwise, and then cut them in half so they won't be so long. That way they won't take too long to cook. Let me just give this a quick little stir right quick. You can see our chicken is already starting to to cook in here. It's starting to, you can see how it's starting to change color. Basically with this honey in here, this is going to reduce, and it's gonna reduce to the point where it's gonna thicken up, and that sauce with that honey is gonna get nice and tight. So normally, you know, marinating, the longer it marinates, the better off it is, okay? So whether you want to do this the night before, whether you want to do it for 4 hours, 8 hours, totally up to you, totally up to you. So here, just take your marinade, pour it right into the Ziploc. And you know, I haven't done this, but I think to get some of those boneless pork chops and marinate those boneless pork chops in this, or even if a pork chop on the bone, use this same marinade. But the only thing with the pork chops, if you're gonna put them on the grill, I take them out of that marinade and just go ahead and then sear them on the grill that way. The thing about marinating, gang, and especially raw chicken or raw pork, okay? If I were to take this chicken out of the marinade, and say I had chicken breast or whole chicken thighs, and I do it on the grill, all right? It's important, once that chicken cooks, do not take this marinade and brush on it, okay? Because now you're putting raw meat, or the residue of raw meat, onto cooked meat. So don't do that. It's okay in a pan this way, because that marinade is going to cook. So if you decide to do this on the grill and use this marinade to marinate your chicken or your pork or whatever you want to marinate, just make sure if you're doing it on the grill and you're just going to saute it in a skillet, don't brush it with that marinade because it touched raw chicken or it touched raw pork, all right? So now I'm just going to put this right in the fridge. Come on, you can get right in there. And let's break out the power tools, okay? To go with this, we're gonna make a power ball. You know, this is something that, you know, I didn't realize how easy these balls were to make. Sometimes I'd buy them, and it wasn't until I tried it, and then Monica introduced me to doing so many different versions of it, that this one I just kind of really liked and fell in love with, okay? Now, here's what we're going to do. I have 2 cups of dates. Now, I had dates that had the pits in them, and basically what I did, I took the pits out. You can see how they're kind of mashed a little bit because you can buy dates that are pitted, but here with these, I just took the pits out. It's so quick and simple to do that if you don't want to use dates, that if you just want to buy them or you have them that are already pitted, it's so quick and simple to get those out. So that's fine, all right? We have almond slices. Here I have a little shredded coconut, and I also have cocoa powder, okay? So you kind of see this, that almond joy, that chocolate and coconut flavors coming together with the nuts, all right? So, I'm sorry, gang, let me just give this chicken another stir. I tell you what, this is looking so good. It's coming together so nice. And you can see how this moisture, as this cooks, is just going to evaporate. Our chicken will be nice and tender and moist. So in here, what we want to first do are put our dates in, okay? And I'm going to kind of spread them around. Now, when you're processing something like this, it's going to turn into kind of a ball. It's going to kind of lump up a little bit and get clumpy, but that's okay because we can go in there and break that up. So to just start it, I'm just going to start pulsing it, just so it starts to break it up. Now let's kind of do it on medium for a little bit. And you know, as Monica gets a shot in there, you see how it all kind of clumps up there? That's all right. We're okay with that. Basically, here's what we're going to do. I'm just going to take this spatula, kind of move it around some, break it up, and we'll process it a little more. You can see how it's getting nice and smooth and creamy in here. That's what we want. Oh man, I tell you what, gang. Between the smells of the citrus from the chicken and that orange juice and honey and the dates, oh, it's a great smell. So I've got it on high right now. Oh, I unlocked the top. All right. So as you see, Monty, if you can come in and get a close-up. See, gang, this is just kind of pureed itself. It's nice and smooth. So now let's get in our almonds. So as we get the almonds in, we're going to add, this is all of a sudden going to start to be dry. So with our almonds in here, we'll give it a little pulse. We'll wipe the sides down. And then we'll get in our cocoa powder and we'll get in our shredded coconut. And this will take me a few minutes to get done. Okay? This is one of those recipes that it's going to take it a few minutes to get it to where you want it. So you have to periodically go ahead and stop, push the almond slices down off the sides, because we want all of this to be nice and smooth. So it may take just a few minutes. I hope you're patient enough to hang with me while we get this done. Our cocoa powder and our coconut go in now. And now it's time for us to get this pulsing again. Those flavors are just going to get nice mixed in. That coconut is going to get mixed in. That chocolate is going to get mixed in. You know, most recipes have a foundation. And the foundation for this Powerball are those dates. Oh, look how this is coming together, gang. We're going to hit this just a little more. Now, the thing about this is we're going to need a little moisture. So I'm going to take about a table tuna spoon, one or two tablespoons of milk in here, and that'll get that together. Guys, I wish you could see the look that I just got from my wife. She is like, can you please speak English? You know, can you try some language that folks can understand? Oh, okay, also look at this. See how this is reducing? That moisture is reducing in our chicken. Oh, this is great. This is great. Let me grab. Oh. Now, you can use an almond milk. You can use a regular milk. I have a little oat milk in the refrigerator. I can use the oat milk. Whichever one you like. Also in here, let's put in about a teaspoon of vanilla. We'll get in the vanilla, and let's get in just a little bit of milk, because we want this to form a ball that we can roll up. Oh, there you go. It's starting to pull together. Yeah, let's just do a tiny bit, another little splash of milk, and we'll be good. Now again, before I puree this, in our chicken, remember in the last 5 minutes, we're going to put in our bell pepper, our orange slices, the jalapeno, and you know, depending on how you like your vegetables, I like vegetables, well, we like vegetables with a little bit of a crunch to them, so I'm going to put the broccoli in now. Now, if you like your vegetables to where they're soft, go ahead and put them in. You can put them in toward the beginning, all right? And they'll have a different texture, but I like them a little firm. Let's get our bell pepper orange slices and the jalapeno slices down in here. Look at the color of this. The color of this is so pretty. And when that orange heats up, it's going to give a flavor. You know, often you hear about zesting. Well, the same thing here. That skin off that orange is going to add a depth of flavor, because it's just like if we were to add zest to something. That's what that skin is going to do. So it's okay that that skin is on. All right? So these flavors are just going to add more to what we already had going on in the pan. I'll turn the fire down now just a smidge, just about a medium high. So let's go ahead and process this to where we get that ball. All right. There we go. Now guys, I'm going to take this out. Let me move this over. Hang on, gang. I'm looking for the right plate to put this in. I am so sorry.
Hey, this one isn't scratched.
All right. I'm sorry, gang. You know, for you guys that are married, I was getting that look from the wife. You ladies understand why I was going, because I should have had this done earlier. But no, I'm a man, so I wasn't grabbing the right dishes. I should have had them pulled out earlier. Don't look at me that bad, baby. All right. Come on out. Now, what I did earlier also, I took some of the coconut, put it in the processor, and I just basically kind of ground it up a little bit, because we could roll our balls in here, or we could just leave them like they are, depending on whether you want to roll them in the extra coconut or not. So here, and this is where you're going to get a little dirty, but just take a little bit. How big or little do you want to make them? Just take a pinch, roll it right in your hands. Now, you know what's nice with these too, you can make these, put them in an airtight container, and they'll stay in the refrigerator for a good week and a half, 2 weeks. All right? So this is one of those nice, I like them refrigerated because they'll firm up a little bit, they're refreshing. You know, the other, sometimes something I put in them, here this has the almond slices because we wanted that almond flavor, but you could put oats in it. You know, sometimes we make them and put oats in them, if you want to do oats. All right. Let me just roll 1 or 2 more. Oh, our chicken is looking so good. Oh, I made that one a little baby. And you see here, you can just roll it in the coconut if you want a little extra coconut on them. All right? And the thing is, when you process the coconut, you don't want to process it too long, because you'll end up with like coconut butter, because that coconut will just cream itself out. So there we are. We have some that are coated with the coconut, some that aren't coated with the coconut. All right? But I tell you what, these have such a good flavor. I just, I don't know, I tell you what, gang. Yeah. Just, that's a great little taste on it. So here, let me move this over, and show you how I'm going to plate this up. Now our chicken, we can go ahead and shut off. Put a little bit of parsley and green onion in there. Earlier, I cooked some rice. And of course, I cook my rice in a flavor. I cook my rice in a little chicken stock, garnished with parsley and green onion. I had a little parsley in there while it was cooking. I also put a little salt in the water, all right, along with the chicken stock, because now we have a flavor coming from underneath as well as on top, all right? So there's our rice. Let's make sure we get a little bit of everything. Some of that glaze. Now that glaze is glazed onto the chicken. All right, look how pretty that looks. Get another little bowl. All right. So here, let's find a little parsley, green onion. All right. We'll do this a little. Serve it with a couple of lime wedges for fresh lime. Now, this is how you could serve it at home for dinner at night. But you know what? To take it to work, why not get a little container? You could put your rice on one side, your chicken on the other, or put your rice under the bottom. And now this is a great dish to take to work. You know, wrap the balls in a little clear wrap or a little foil and take those with you. So I hope for Brown Bag Lunch Day, which is Memorial Day on Monday, this will help you power up and get ready to go back to work. And this is a great recipe that you can do for dinner at home, but make sure, hey, everybody at work will be jealous if you bring something like this. So I hope you have yourself a great day. For WWL TV, I'm Chef Kevin Belton, and we will see you soon.